All right, welcome in. We have versus UA District 2 game today. Coming from the frigid West Side Arena in St. Paul, Minnesota. It is a balmy 0 degrees in here, but that's all right. Hockey, so we're going to play hockey. 4 minutes left on the clock here for warm-ups, and then we'll get going. Rowan Wright is on the camera work today, so hopefully he'll likely do a better job than I do. So he's going to be keeping us on focus, and I'm going to be just describing the action.
Hi.
And he says hello. All right, we are getting ready to rip here. Here comes the opening face-off, Mounds View versus White Bear Lake. And we have Kenna Boostrom on the faceoff dot, flanked by Piper Hendrickson and Stella Gray. Defense is Lucy St. Dennis and Ella Krebsbach. Faceoff won by White Bear. They throw it down, arm is up. It will go far enough for an icing, but waved off as the Mounds View player engaged with it. Battle along the half wall there, chipped up into the air, goes wide behind the net. Retrieved there. Thrown up along the boards, but pinched off and held. Battling for possession at the blue line, it's chipped out, and White Bear goes back to collect as Mounds View goes for a 5-skater change. Carrying the puck through neutral zone comes White Bear over the center line. Pinched into the wall there by Violet St. Dennis. They battle. Puck comes free. D-to-D pass. Goes rink wide. Up and bounced up off the boards. Picked up at center by White Bear. Thrown back out by Dreon. Challenged there by St. Dennis. Puck came loose. It's hanging in the neutral zone. Picked up by White Bear. They look to push, gain entry, and do. But the puck is stick checked there and deflected up along the boards. They battle along the blue line. White Bear shovels the puck deeper, picked up, carried towards the slot, had it stick checked there, and the puck comes out of the zone. Retrieved near center by White Bear. They flip it in, going for a retrieval, but Mounds View wins the race there. Ringed around D-to-D. St. Dennis challenged on the forecheck there as White Bear is looking to take possession away, and they do. Thrown down to the low slot from the side of the net, thrown to the front, picked up there and carried out. Stick checked away there from Prussing. White Bear backhand, flipped it along the boards. They pick it up off the half wall, carried towards the dot, looking for a centering pass, but was unable to get it towards center. Recovered by White Bear, and now they battle. Mounds View trying to exit the zone. Being held nicely by White Bear at the blue line. Chipped out and carried by Violet. Kenna on the forecheck here. As White Bear looks to carry it through center. Had it chipped away at the blue line, picked up, carried along the wall, and down deep where they battle in the corner. The puck comes up towards the blue line, and it does exit the zone, forcing an exit from White Bear. Defense went to bank it off the wall, but they still hadn't quite cleared the zone, so we get an offsides whistle. 9:23 left to play in the first period. 0-0 our score. Face-off, won by Boostrom. She goes up the left side with some speed and space there. Skates past the White Bear defender, pushed to the corner, and now behind, she throws it. Torkelson threw it on net. It's in the net, off of the goalie and in. All right. A hard angle shot there by Torkelson. It bounced free, and Boostrom was able to pound it into the net on the rebound. A little dirty area goal play there. And it is 1-0 Mounds View with 9:08 to play in the first period. Face-off, won back by White Bear. They carried up the right side. Battling for entry at the blue line, and they do get it. Carried down. Chipped off her stick in the corner. Thrown towards the net. They look for a wraparound, going for a centering pass, but stick check there. Hendrickson battling along the boards. She's looking to get exit there. Held in by White Bear. Chip back in. And Freihammer picks it up with speed and space. She gets whacked and goes down. Picked up there by White Bear. They go behind their net. Hendrickson in on the forecheck. Connection pass went a little too far. Bounced off the stick of Clark for White Bear. Centering pass now comes towards the Mounds View net, but it is deflected to the boards. That was a dangerous opportunity for White Bear, but they couldn't quite settle the puck down. Puck goes to the corner now, up towards the blue line. Thrown D-to-D. They walk along the blue line and chipped out there by by Gray. Kenna Boostrom backhands it towards the White Bear zone as Mounds View goes for a change. White Bear looking to catch him in it. Just missed on a connecting pass. It goes down deep where it's picked up. D-to-D pass off the backhand there. They battle along the half wall in the corner. Picked up by Pressing at left wing. She's challenged by two White Bear defenders, looking to dangle and get something set up. Sticks all over the place, deflected and thrown to the end wall. Lucy St. Denis picks it up and carries it out. She lost it on a forehand. Shot from White Bear, dangerous opportunity. Saved by Mabel. Cleared out by Mounds View. White Bear comes back to connect. Pass deflected up off the stick and into the zone, but thrown back out quickly by Dreon. She throws it down deep. No icing is called. As they carry it back up over center line, White Bear gains entry with possession. Good poke check there by Freihammer to force it to the corner. Able to take possession and throw it up along the boards. Eleanor battling down in the corner. White Bear looking to carry it out there. She circles back. Dangerous opportunity here, but gummed up by the defense. Coming up towards the blue line. Loose puck here. Grabbed by Eleanor, and the zone is cleared, forcing a clear from White Bear. They carry it back in, lose the puck, back towards center, where it's picked up and carried in. Poked off her stick there nicely by Torkelson. Boostrom in on the forecheck. White Bear doubles back and passes it up the left side. Carried in, pushed to the outside, backhand pass towards center, but intercepted. Read nicely. She's pushed down, we've got an arm up. It looks like we're going to get a holding or an interference. I couldn't see the signal there. We'll see when he goes. This is going to go against White Bear. Offensive zone face-off is forthcoming for Mounds View as they go 5-on-4 for a minute and 30 seconds here. Boostrom on the face-off. Won by White Bear and controlled. She looks to skate it behind. Reverses. Boostrom in on the forecheck. Challenge there. Hendrickson brought it free. Centering pass. Goes to Stella. She couldn't control it. The White Bear defender did a nice job defending that pass. They ring it back around, looking for some space on the exit. Picked up along the wall. Challenged on the forecheck by Hendrickson, but White Bear is able to clear the zone and carries it out with some possession. Had it chipped up off her stick, and the puck goes deep. Battling there again, Hendrickson gathers it, throws it off the wall there. Came free, picked up by White Bears. They look to carry it through. Hendrickson up the right side, thrown back into the corner. Good area play by White Bear to kill time as there's 40 seconds remaining on the power play for Mounds View. They haven't had a chance to get set up. Thrown towards the net and chipped wide by Couture. Puck comes up towards the blue line, pass D to D, thrown towards the net, flipped back up and off of the stick and out. Hendrickson in aggressively on the forecheck here, trying to cause some problems. She creates the turnover and throws the puck back deep. White Bear looking to exit, but Freihammer did a good job with their stick keeping it in. They flip it out. Dreon goes rink wide. Eleanor has it bounce off her stick and off the wall, and she comes up. White Bear carries it in, chips it up off the wall towards center. They bring it over to the left wall, carry it in, and throw it towards center, but it's intercepted there by Mounds View. Pressing. White Bear player came from the bench with some speed and poke checked it away from her. The puck comes back down towards the White Bear blue line. They gather and regroup. Pinched off at center. They battle two aside along the boards here. Now it's three aside, and now White Bear comes away with possession, carrying it towards center. Had the puck off of her stick and thrown from the outside. Blocker down by Couture. St. Denis waiting for the puck, chips it out, where it's picked up by Boostrom. She's got speed. She's in on a breakaway. Good backhand move. Good save by the goalie on a nice forehand backhand. Went for the backhand stuff, and the goalie read it and stayed with it and made a nice pad save. And White Bear looking for a counterattack. Violet chipped it away. Offsides play there. Huge save there on the breakaway attempt. Kenna made a nice move, and the goalie outweighted her. Face off from the neutral zone, controlled by Mounds View. Chip down towards the offensive zone. It's going to go down. Icing's waved off. White Bear picks it up behind their net, circles around with some speed, throws it towards center, had it bounce up over a stick. Eleanor picks it up there, bounces it off of the wall. It's picked up and retrieved by White Bear. They ring it around. Torkelson in on the forecheck to challenge, pinches it off, throws it towards the net. Mounds View doing a good job on the keep here. White Bear looking to regroup and exit the zone. D to D there. The defense comes up the right wall here. She carries it with speed. Good poke check there by Freihammer, but unable to get it off of her stick. Thrown on net, saved by Couture, goes to the corner. Eleanor goes to retrieve there, flips it over a couple of players that had fallen down. White Bear picks it up in their own zone and again takes it back behind their net. Freihammer in on the forecheck. Gets in and takes it there, but it's feathered up to the wing. Good backhand saucer pass, but just bounced up over the stick. And now White Bear looking for retrieval off of the end board. She rings around, carries it towards the face-off circle, centering there, tripped but no call. And Freihammer in on the boards here. They battle for possession. Players falling all over the place. White Bear goes rink wide with it. It comes to the wall. Picked up there by St. Denis. She carries it in through center. Stick handles around. Throws it off the backhand. Wide of the net. Off of the end boards where White Bear is able to gather and looking for a zone exit. But good hustle play there. Boostrom got back and got her stick in the way before they could exit that puck out of the zone. White Bear gathers, coming through center with some speed, being pushed to the outside. Krebsbach, nice job on the back check, thrown towards the net, and Mabel just drops down and covers with a White Bear player lurking for any rebound. 1:24 remaining, 1-0 remains the score. Face off to the goalie's left, one back, and controlled by White Bear, but then taken away by Eleanor. She backhands it up towards the wing. They chip it out. Kenna looking to come in with speed. Carried through by White Bear. Being pushed towards the outside, but she's got some momentum. She doubles back and carries it back towards the slot, fires wide. Not sure if that hit the shoulder or the post, but that was a good hard high shot, but not quite on target. Puck comes. That was an offsides play by White Bear that they let continue. And now the puck goes down deep. And backhand shot was shoveled wide as White Bear sustains some offensive pressure here, looking to even it up before the period ends. 30 seconds remaining. They continue with possession in the offensive zone. Stick to the wall there by Eleanor and then flipped out by Violet St. Denis as Mounds View looks to get fresh skaters on, but they threw it down far enough for an icing. Still allowed to change because it's youth hockey. And the face-off comes all the way down. Face-off coming. One back by Mounds View into the corner. White Bear in trying to take possession away, and they do. Reversing there, working around the official. Puck is thrown up off the boards. Chipped there. Carried behind as time expires here in the first. 1-0 remains the score after one period of play. We'll take a quick break. And we're back here for the second period of play. I have lost my cameraman due to inhospitable work conditions of the cold rink. His hands are cold, and he's going to go play soccer with a friend. So now it's back to me doing the play-by-play and the camera work, so hopefully I can stay on top of it. Good first period back and forth battle. Mounds View was able to get one, and White Bear has not cracked the score sheet. Had a few dangerous opportunities as they get ready to play the second period. Face-off, won by Mounds View. Fryhammer on the face-off, picks it up there, throws it up the backhand towards center. They battle in the neutral zone. Eleanor looks like she got her jersey from home in the intermission. Puck is chipped down deep. Fryhammer goes in, battling for retrieval off the end boards. White Bear pushes it up towards the side and comes out with possession. Breakaway shot and scored. Upper 90 shot there on the breakaway. One game, 11:26 to play in the second. Face-off, one back, but Mounds View controlled it as it comes towards the wall. Carried in there, thrown deep. Retrieved by White Bear behind the net. And the puck comes up towards the blue line. It bounces up off a stick. Krebsbach pass was deflected there by White Bear as they come in front of us here. Bostrom battling. White Bear looking to gain possession. It comes back towards the blue line, but they're able to keep it towards the center. Thrown on net, rebound, and score. Mabel got the first save. Rebound came to the backside where there was a White Bear player waiting, and she pounded it home. 2-1 White Bear. They came out pushing hard at the start of the second period. Face-off, one back by White Bear. They go rink wide. A pass attempt is intercepted and thrown on net. Shot, save, rebound, comes out towards the point. Off the end boards there, picked up, thrown back up towards the point. Back down deep. Puck is steered around. Battling along the half wall, picked up there. White Bear looking to clear the zone, and they do. Fryhammer back on the back check, and an offside whistle here in front of us. Face-off here in front of us. Over to the boards here. We got another offsides whistle here as it came out and back in. Face-off. Won by White Bear. Carried in. Krebsbach battling along in the corner here. The puck comes free. Up to the slot. Chipped. White Bear picks it up there and carries it. Doubles back. And the puck is sent all the way down. That will go far enough for an icing, and does. Face-off coming now. Won by Mounds View. Over to Eleanor. She bounces the puck up off the wall and down. And it will go arm up for another icing. This one will come to the near side dot here, closest to us. Face-off, won by Mounds View. Eleanor throws it back off the end boards. It bounces up towards Torkelson along the wall. She throws it, picked up there by White Bear. Puck came out of the blue line. Neutral zone face-off near the Mounds View zone. Over by the benches. Won by White Bear. Chipped towards the wall. Freihammer knocked it free. She'll pick it up with some time and some space. Back check there. Good save by the goalie. She controls the rebound and gets the whistle. Back check pressure from White Bear forced a shot fairly early there. And the goalie was square and up to task. Face-off, one back. Controlled there, thrown towards the net. Good block by a White Bear player. Comes to the wing, loose to the slot. Stella had it on her backhand. Couldn't get it controlled as White Bear looks to exit the zone. Good back check pressure by Freihammer. Brings the puck towards the wall. She's hit into the wall, goes down. Puck is thrown deep as they ring it around. Off the wall, controlled there and thrown back behind by White Bear. They gain possession and look to exit. Thrown off the backhand but into a player's body. Picked up again by White Bear as they look to exit the zone. Coming around the net. And controlled there. Thrown back in by Mounds View. They change a couple of skaters as White Bear gets it in the corner. And the puck comes free down into the corner. They battle and ring it around, coming out the opposite side. Picked up there and thrown down by Pressing. She chipped it towards center. White Bear picks it up there. Good pressure on the puck there by Violet St. Denis. White Bear looking to exit the zone. Puck thrown off the backhand towards the blue line. Held in nicely there by Mounds View. Pressing, looked to carry it in. Bounces off of a stick. Didn't exit the zone as the puck goes back down deep. White Bear recovers there. Tries to bring it up. Dangles around a defender. And then has the puck thrown back deep. Mounds View in on the forecheck. Looking to retrieve. Thrown back towards the point. Eleanor had it bounce off of her stick. And she knew that it had exited the zone, so she goes D to D for a chance to regroup. Freihammer gathers it at the line and throws it down deep. It is picked up there behind the net by Hendrickson. Battling as the puck comes up the boards. Bank pass held there by Mounds View. Thrown back in, and on net, she sticks it to the side. As they look for a stretch pass, it goes over the White Bear stick and down deep, far enough for an icing. 6:19 to play in the first period. They'll bring it back down. Face-off is coming. Won by White Bear. Picked up and taken behind the net. Thrown up out of the zone where Dreon goes back to retrieve it. She reverses. Boostrom threw it in. She goes in on the forecheck, looking to battle for possession. Does a good job to get on the other side of the stick. Pins it into the boards. They battle. White Bear looking to take it out, but challenge there. They do get possession and take it behind the net. Good stretch pass up through center. Eleanor pinched it off, and the puck comes free to the corner. 2 White Bear players come in. Chipped up. Poked out with the backhand, and offsides play here by White Bear. .5:34 to play in the second. 2-1 remains the score. Face-off, one back. Freihammer in on the check. Knocked it free. It's thrown into the offensive zone. Down behind, picked up there by White Bear. They go to Trapper. She's able to skate around the oncoming defense and gain speed and goes towards the wall. Freihammer on the back check, created some pressure. It goes rink wide, bounces off of a stick and into the far corner, where it's picked up there by Krebsbach. They go down, battling. Players falling all over the place. Wraparound attempt, stick check there by Lucy. Violet picks it up, carries it up the right wall. Stick check there by White Bear. They throw it up in the air and on net. It comes free and is battled for and up towards the wing. Carried out by Violet's poke check there. Freihammer throws it down. Arm is up. Icing is waved off as White Bear gathers it behind their net, throws it up off the glass, and gets out of the zone and comes down with some speed and space. Goes around Eleanor. Good shot. Good save by Couture. And Moundsview on a counterattack. Torkelson threw it. It hits off a ref and comes down. They're battling now. White Bear off the backhand towards the wall. Comes back through. 2-on-1 opportunity here. Good pass across, just out of the reach as they had an odd man opportunity, just out of the reach. Now shot from the point, deflected and chipped to the wall by Eleanor. It banks out and will go down into the White Bear zone. They'll retrieve there as Moundsview goes to get fresh skaters. Forecheck here by Moundsview. Hendrickson battling along the board. Puck went past St. Dennis's stick. Krebsbach grabs it and throws it over to St. Dennis. She had her entry pass flub a little bit, and the puck comes in with White Bear offsides as they were going for a change on the other side of the blue line. And the faceoff comes to center. Faceoff controlled by White Bear. They come up the right side, push to the outside, stick to the corner. Freihammer picks it up there, skates around a defender with some speed. She gains the line and rings it deep. Picked up there. Forecheck. Avoided there nicely by the White Bear defender, but then she couldn't get around Freihammer, who makes a nice move and goes forehand, backhand, spins back around, looking for a pass, gets checked. We've got an arm up. There's a penalty coming. Dreon throws it from distance. It bounces, and now White Bear's going to get possession, and we'll get a whistle here for the penalty. 2:38 to play. 2-1 our score. Penalty call is forthcoming. Number 44, Bell, goes to the box for White Bear. A minute and 30 seconds on the power play here. Face-off, won by White Bear. Back to the corner. They bring it back behind the net. Challenge there, but she's able to skate through some contact. Does have the puck come off of her stick. Skated around there. Into the corner it goes. Challenge there by Piper. She goes rink wide, but it does exit the zone. Dreon waiting for her teammates to clear and then throws it back deep, but she didn't wait long enough. And it is an offsides play with 1:04 left on the power play, 2:12 left in the second. Face-off. Controlled by Mounds View. Backhand pass by Lucy off the wall, and then flipped up off of the bench and out of play. It hit off of the stanchion there and came back in, but the refs correctly blew it down, and we'll do it again. Same spot, 6 seconds came off of the clock. Face-off. Won by Freihammer. They battle for control. Bounce off the wall. St. Denis threw it off her backhand over for Krebsbach. She goes, backhand shovels towards Freihammer. She settles it down and then throws it deep as Moundsview looks to chip and retrieve. In on the forecheck. They go battle for possession. It comes out, and Krebsbach grabs it and goes rink wide to St. Denis. St. Denis gains the line and throws it back deep. White Bears doing a good job of challenging at the blue line, not letting them gain entry with possession and forcing those dump-ins, which spends a lot of time going for retrieval. It's a good penalty kill. Moundsview looks to gain possession, hasn't been able to get set up at all on this power play. And White Bear has killed the time and throws it up towards the blue line. Fresh skater is out of the box and onto the ice. The puck is thrown down. It does go far enough for an icing, and we come back down with 51.2 to play in the first. We'll get an offensive zone face-off from the left offensive dot to the goalie's right of White Bear. 2-1 the score in the final minute of play in the second period. Face-off, won by Boostrom. She throws it back towards the point. Speared into the air off the backhand, picked up there. White Bear carries it behind. 40 seconds remains in the period. Thrown towards the net, but intercepted there, and then thrown back towards the wall by White Bear. Lucy slung it wide of the net. Off the end boards it comes. Krebsbach threw it nice, just bounced off of the stick there of Brewski, and the puck comes down. It's thrown wide, and then off the backhand wide. 10 seconds remaining. As bodies go flying down in the corner, the puck comes to St. Denis. She kicks it to her stick and throws it towards the blue line, and that will end time in the second period. 2-1, White Bear at the end of 2. They'll switch ends, and we'll get ready to go again for 12 minutes to decide this District 2 game. All right, 12:01 to play here. to decide this District 2 game. Face-off, won by White Bear, but controlled by Mounds View. Freihammer threw it in off the backhand. It goes down. Chipped along the wall, and then back deep. Hendrickson had it bounce up over her stick. Dreon goes rink wide to Eleanor, who carries it and throws it towards the blue line and in. Now it goes down deep off the end boards. White Bear goes for retrieval there. Passes it up. But Freihammer picked it up, throw it back towards Hendrickson. She's in on the forecheck. And White Bear reversed and comes out. Prussing recovered and comes back on the back check. Picked up there by St. Denis. She chipped it off the wall as Mounds View looks to exit the zone. And Kenna Boostrom comes up with some speed. She skates around, has it stick to the wall. She chips it deep. Violet looking to gain possession. White Bear goes rink wide off the wall. Prussing on the back check. Regains possession as the puck continues to be thrown through the neutral zone and battling. Thrown back deep. Kenna Boostrom going into challenge as White Bear looks to gain a zone exit. Skated out. Nice stick to skate back to stick move and thrown high. Back towards center. Picked up there. Thrown back to the wall. Into the corner they go. Chipped along the half wall. Backhand shoveled down deep. Carried out. And then passed up and chipped along the wall. Freihammer threw it down deep and goes to battle. She's sticked there. And White Bear comes away looking to counterattack. Odd man opportunity if they get moving. And they're offsides. Couldn't quite hold at the line long enough as they were coming in with speed and space. Face off. Chip back. Bounced out of the zone and comes to neutral, where White Bear looks to flip it out. Kenna had it knocked off her stick. They battle here in front of us. It rolls off of the stick. Bouncing puck through the neutral zone, settled down by Boostrom. She had her stick checked. And Dreon grabs it and throws it back deep, and Stella was still in the zone. 9:05 remaining as they come back to center. Face off. Pushed forward by Freihammer. She's in on her horse trying to win the race to retrieve it, and does. Backhand pass towards Prussing, who is coming in. St. Denis challenging there. Freihammer. Lucy St. Denis battling here in front of us. White Bear chips it off the boards. Prussing recovers. They go rink wide. Bounces up off of the wall. Picked up there by White Bear. Looking to stick handle it in, but challenged and lost possession. They continue to battle in the neutral zone. Backhand shoveled into the zone. It comes out. Holding there as Mounds View regroups and chips it back up off the wall. Thrown back deep. And a good poke check there. Boostrom took it away. She comes in. Off the outside of the cage. Puck comes back the other way. White Bear looking to counterattack. It gets pushed wide. And out of the zone. Torkelson challenged there. Dreon Gets it and throws it up off of the defender. At the line, throws it back down. Brewski battling. And she was offsides as the puck came out and then went back in. Face-off will come to the dot right in front of us here. Freihammer on the face-off. Won by White Bear. Intercepted there. But Hendrickson went to throw it deep and it had cleared the zone. We'll do it again. Face-off. Controlled by White Bear. They come up the right side. Forced to the outside. Sticked away by Hendrickson into the boards. White Bear regroups and throws it towards the net. Into the corner. Thrown towards the blue line. Chip back towards center. Into the air it goes as they battle into the corner. To a side there. Puck comes free to a White Bear player in the low slot. She throws it towards the net, but wide. Recovered behind. She wraps around. Good stick check there to prevent the shot attempt. Thrown back in. And we have an offsides play there. 6:44 to go in the third period. 2-1 remains the score. Face-off, won by Boostrom. Up the wall, towards the net, and covered by Couture. Face-off, won by White Bear, chipped towards the corner, into the air, and gloved out of the air by Couture. Face-off, back towards the slot, thrown on net, into the chest, and held by Couture. White Bear continues to win offensive faceoffs and take shots on net. Never a bad strategy. Faceoff, won by White Bear, but controlled by Mounds View. Thrown towards the wall, and then it comes back and wide. Picked up, chipped out of the zone. And along as White Bear goes back behind the net, pressing in on the forecheck, forces a reversal, of course. And an intercepted pass there by Pressing causes a turnover. Flip back in by Eleanor. White Bear regains possession and comes back towards center. Chipped away at the center line by Pressing. They flip the puck in, and Mounds View goes to get fresh skaters on as Violet St. Denis comes in on the forecheck. Brewski following behind. Thrown up towards the blue line to a waiting White Bear player. Freihammer hustling hard on the back check to create pressure. As White Bear takes the puck away from the end boards. Good effort play there. Good recovery by the Mounds View defense, but White Bear gains possession, thrown down to the backside from the low slot. Shot deflected, goes to the corner, up towards the point where it's chipped to the wall by Brewski. She gets it and whacks it down. Retrieved there as White Bear takes it for a walk. Torkelson looking to grab it, throws it towards center. The only skater there was a White Bear player, and they chip it and get it out of the zone here in front of us as they battle. 3-on-2. Mounds View takes it down, carried off the wall, and thrown wide of the net. Off the end boards it goes. It'll be picked up there and then ringed around off of a defender and up towards the boards. Thrown towards center. And Eleanor chips it. That will go far enough for an icing, and the arm goes up and it is called. 4:14 to play in the third period. 2-1 remains the score. Face off. One back. St. Denis battling behind the net as Moundsview looks to exit the zone. They do. Hendrickson putting pressure on. White Bear player lost an edge. And we have, well, that was a shriek, not a whistle, sorry. White Bear comes in on a high hard shot. The puck comes free towards center, picked up there by White Bear, challenged there by Hendrickson. Up towards the blue line. The puck comes towards the slot. Another hard shot from the dot was high and wide. Moundsview looking to exit the zone. White Bear making it messy behind the net. The puck comes free towards the boards. Carried towards center. From the dot, thrown wide, off the end boards. Picked up there and carried out. And Lucy has the puck knocked off of her stick. Violet throws the puck deep. Freihammer in on the forecheck. White Bear wings around the boards. Eleanor threw it off the end board behind the net. It's picked up there by White Bear as the puck comes back out and shipped towards center. Backhand settled down there by Violet. There was a collision there, and Freihammer slow to get up, but she does get back. 2:18 to play. Face-off, won by White Bear, picked up there by Kenna. Moundsview is pulling their goalie to get an extra attacker on. Boostrom picks it up behind the net, went for the wraparound attempt, had its stick checked away just at the last second. And White Bear is going to pass it up towards center, and then a nice pass to the wing, looking for an empty netter, and they get it to go up 3-1 with 1:57 to play. So Couture will go back to the net for the face-off, and I imagine they will likely pull her again here. Face-off comes back to St. Denis. She threw it, had it intercepted. Boostrom threw it up, chipped out and down. Picked up there, off the boards. Ringed it around, they're battling there. The puck comes free, and Kenna gets it in. Moundsview brings the skater to the bench. Kenna reverses. Backhand passes it to Piper. She throws it hard towards the net. It comes free there. Blocked. St. Denis circles back. They battle along the boards here. 1 minute to play as the puck comes free into the defensive zone. White Bear looking to gain another empty netter. Stella picked it up in front of the empty cage and threw it back down. Eleanor in aggressively on the forecheck here, forces a flip up into the air. Freihammer picks it up, throws it towards the net. Comes loose. The goalie went to cover it, but had it bounce free of her glove. Stella was there, but couldn't get it settled. It goes to the corner. They battle. White Bear happy to just burn time with the puck pinned against the boards. They gain possession and carry it out. Looking to gain the line before taking an empty net attempt, and she does. Back through the center. Chip towards the side. 10 seconds remains in the game. Thrown up off of the defender's stick by Eleanor, and that should do it. 3, 2, 1. Shot from distance, rolls down, and will go off the side, but wouldn't have counted anyways. 3-1 the final score here, with White Bear victorious. Thanks for checking it out. We'll see you guys next time.